Rhea Ripley fans, I got some more bad news for you in this video. I'm going to share it. And I'll be honest, as a Rhea Ripley fan, as a Rhea Ripley supporter, I don't necessarily like to talk about this. I don't necessarily want to talk about this because I know this is not good. This is not good. Now, the elephant in the room is this. Rhea Ripley is injured. She is on the sidelines, and it comes such at a bad time. It's a bummer to talk about for me. Rhea Ripley was on fire. She was running on gasoline. She was remarkable in what she was able to do as the women's world champion. And the fact that she had the run that she did, coming from where she did, is even more impressive. 2023, as I like to coin it, was the year of Rhea Ripley. Not only from her rise as a member of the Judgment Day alongside Damian Priest and Finn Balor and JD Madonna and Dominic Mysterio, but she helped that Raw women's division so much. So much. If you look at what she was able to do coming from the Women's Royal Rumble match winner, challenging Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title, dethroning Charlotte Flair, one of WWE's biggest stars, at one of the biggest WrestleManias in history, then going on the reign and the dominant run in which Rhea Ripley had as said champion. It's remarkable. Those who she beat, those who she feuded with, and the beauty about her reign is something that I don't think a lot of people talk about, in the sense of we saw her evolution. Just like we saw her evolve from who she was in NXT UK to NXT to who she was on the main roster and who she has become over the last 2 years. Her pairing as a member of the Judgment Day has helped her in ways that I don't think people fully understand. Look at the way that she has been on the trajectory up through the main roster. Look at what she was in NXT UK, what she was in NXT, who she became on the main roster, and who she became in the last 2 years. From being the typical blonde Charlotte Flair lookalike, her words, not mine, changing her look, going the darker route, going the gothic route. That in itself was impressive. That is something to behold of. That is something that is remarkable. And the fact that she went in to Australia at the Elimination Chamber PLE, and she was able to feud and headline with Nia Jax. Granted, not the greatest match of all time, not the greatest build of all time, but she was able to do it. The fact that she went into WrestleMania 40 in a very good... The last 2 weeks of that feud was phenomenal. I just wish we would have got more of it. I don't know why. They were very busy on Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. WrestleMania 40, Rhea Ripley retained her title. She got the special entrance, right? She got the live performance entrance. And then she got into a feud with Liv Morgan. And that's where we are today. And that's the topic of today's video. Liv Morgan, in a backstage brawl, shoved Rhea into a wall, and Rhea suffered a shoulder injury. Now, this is not Liv's fault. It was just one of those deals. But she has vacated the Women's World title. You know that. You saw that promo on Monday Night Raw. And she's going to be out for a while. Now, Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Radio noted that Rhea Ripley is out with an AC joint sprain. She's going to need 4 to 6 weeks to regain her mobility, and then she's going to have to do another 3 months before she can get back into in-ring action. So she's going to be in rehab for a while. The good news is she's not going to be out for a year. Good news is she won't need surgery. That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear it. That's bad. Now, that's bad. I talked about this in a video that's coming out on Live, where they decided to pull Rhea off of television instead of just keeping her as a champion. When Seth Rollins suffered his injury in January while working a Monday Night Raw event against Jinder Mahal, they kept the title on him. And that was because he was slated to defend the title at WrestleMania 40, and they just wanted him to drop the title. He ultimately did Drew McIntyre. Why did they not do the same with Rhea Ripley? Well, this is where things can look up. Because instead of just icing her as the champion, they clearly had plans to have her feud with Liv Morgan. That's very clear. They probably had plans to have Rhea retain the title over Liv. And it was probably going to be a one-off. Maybe two if we're lucky. But now, since they put the title as vacant, now we're cooking. Because now it just turned into a one-off feud to a legitimate feud with a lot coming into it. Not only did Liv Morgan turn heel, but Rhea Ripley turned babyface. Now they have legitimate heat behind their storyline, behind their feud, behind their rivalry. Now you can do 2 or 3 matches. Now you can stretch this out. Now you can do the big return angle with Rhea Ripley. Now you can do the story arc of this feud. It got extended, it got expanded, and it got improved. So that's the good news. Bad news is we're going to be out without Rhea Ripley on television for a while. I wish in some ways they could have kept Rhea on television. They could have kept her as the champion because she was, 380 days as champion at the night that she vacated the title. We're not going to get that moment. We're not going to get, and I think that's one of the reasons why Rhea was turned into a babyface by the fans, because it's like, well, we didn't get to see the end of her reign. We did not get to see the conclusion of this story arc. We did not get to see the person who dethroned her as the champion, right? That sucks. And that is what people are upset about. She was also on fire. Legitimately one of the biggest, hottest stars in the entire company, and we were robbed of that moment. And that's what sucks. And that is what people are upset about. And that is something in which we want more of. So I think if you look at it from a Rhea Ripley fan standpoint, myself included, I think you have to look at, okay, this really sucks, but look at what we have to look forward to. Look at the moment when she returns to WWE television. Look at the moment in which she can come back and feud with Liv Morgan. That, my friends, is what we need to pay attention to. That, my friends, is what we need to focus on. And that, my friends, is something to be grateful for. Could have been way worse, but it still sucks. Let me know down in the comments area below, what do you think about this situation, how WWE handled it, and I will see y'all in the next video.